They called it Unfounded. Then 8-year-old Thomas Valva froze to death. Imagine hearing an 8-year-old say, "Mommy hits me." Now imagine learning those words weren't his. They were fed to him by his own father, recorded, repeated, over and over again. And despite repeated warnings from teachers, school staff, and Thomas's own mother, the system failed to protect him. This is the story of Tommy Valva and the warning signs that were ignored. Before Thomas died, there was a custody battle between his parents. A recording later surfaced of his father, Michael Valva, coaching the boys to repeat phrases like, "Mommy hits me." According to court proceedings, the boys were instructed to repeat accusations against their mother. Despite the mother's repeated concerns that Thomas was being abused, custody remained with the father. The questions surrounding how these decisions were made continue to be debated. But what is clear is this: Thomas remained in an environment where abuse allegations continued to grow. This wasn't a case where no one knew. School employees reportedly made at least 20 reports to Child Protective Services. Teachers testified they saw Thomas arrive with a black eye. They described a little boy who appeared painfully thin, a child so hungry he reportedly ate food off classroom floors, took food from other children, and even searched through garbage for something to eat. Staff also reported that Thomas sometimes came to school wearing diapers that were soaked with urine. Those weren't isolated incidents. They were repeated warning signs from professionals who saw Thomas nearly every day. Yet report after report was reportedly classified as unfounded. Every time that happened, Thomas was sent back. Then came January 16th, 2020. After school, Thomas and his brother were forced into the family's unheated garage. Investigators said they remained there for approximately 16 hours. No bed, no blanket, no pillow. Authorities allege Thomas was also repeatedly doused with cold water while outdoor temperatures dropped to around 19 degrees Fahrenheit. Home surveillance footage later captured another child asking Angela Pollina, "Why can't Thomas walk?" According to testimony, she answered, "Because he's hypothermic." She knew what was happening. She knew he was freezing, but no one rescued him. The next day, January 17th, 2020, 8-year-old Thomas Valva was dead. Michael Valva and Angela Pollina were each convicted of second-degree murder. Both are serving sentences of 25 years to life in prison. But many believe accountability should not end there. Thomas's mother filed a wrongful death lawsuit alleging Suffolk County Child Protective Services failed to protect her son despite repeated warnings. Court records later indicated she was willing to settle the lawsuit for $9 million after originally seeking $200 million in damages. The lawsuit argued that repeated reports of abuse were ignored until it was too late. Thomas's story raises difficult questions. Why were so many reports deemed unfounded? How can repeated concerns from educators fail to trigger meaningful intervention? And should records of unfounded CPS investigations remain inaccessible to investigators and grand juries under certain New York laws even after a child dies? These are the policy questions that continue to be discussed by advocates, lawmakers, and families affected by child abuse. Whatever your perspective, one fact cannot be changed. An 8-year-old repeatedly showed signs of severe distress. Adults noticed, reports were filed, yet Thomas never received the protection he needed. Thomas Valva should be remembered for more than the way he died. He deserved warmth, safety, food, love. He deserved adults who listened. If his story moved you, please share it. Not to spread outrage alone, but to keep asking the questions that every child deserves answers to. Because when warning signs are repeatedly dismissed, the consequences can be irreversible. For Thomas, we remember and we continue advocating for children whose voices are still waiting to be heard.